huge, what was that firm? Ernst and Young or something like that. Huge company, and he's like, dude, their system sucks. So he builds out systems for them, and he's like superstar there. Everything's systems, everything's process. And the sooner that you know that, the sooner you're able to, that's the only way you're able to have time freedom. Things that are like looking back at my old me when I first started, and like what I would tell myself, whether it was when I was working at Boeing and didn't know what I wanted to do, like side job wise, like I didn't know how to do anything. I started Pro Sulum in 2009, dude. So I had enough success in 2014 to leave my full-time job. So in 2011, I had enough success to have more independence because of the side income I was making and stuff. But not nearly. It took 5 years, and then from that point on, like I did not achieve this success to where I could do basically whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, till 3 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, 3 years ago really, to shave off 5 years, to shave off 7, 8 years would have put me in such a better place. So that's why, like being that, like feeling like I'm mentoring my old self, my younger self, is kind of like the goal with a lot of this. And that's why I'm so harsh too when I say certain things, because I think about like myself and like whenever I'm lazy or whenever that's why I do what I do, and why I talk about the things I talk about. It's not, some of it's funny because like even just like the processes and systems and things like that, it's a little boring. Can be, if you're not, especially if you're not an entrepreneur or investor or anything like that. But if you are, then and you have that aha moment, it becomes a lot more real, you know. So for you, I'm always talking to my old self as well, but for you, everything should be about taking a piece of your business, because you have sales, and you do the selling. I just saw you right here doing the selling, which is fine. To me, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the sales?
I enjoy it because it's not sales.
Because it's more one-on-one. Yeah, which is great. That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Just letting them know how to ease those pain points.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's good. But so sales. Then from there, you have true, and that's why I have like my sales guy, which I have to do a video for one of my sales. She just came on. I keep on forgetting to do it. I feel so bad, but it is what it is. So I don't like sales. It's just never been my thing. I'm decent at it. It's never been my thing. So I offloaded that. I try to offload that as fast as possible. Then you have what? After that, you sell, and then you have your proposal, and that's something obviously that can be offloaded to somebody. You know, you could do in that situation, if you know somebody who's younger, and if it takes less than an hour to do, you can literally say, hey, every time I send you the information, I'll send you a recording of whatever it is, or I'll send you like what they're gonna do, what they want. Can you write up a proposal, and then just give them $15, $20 or something like that per proposal that they send out. It doesn't have to be somebody who's on full time with that, but even just that, like how long does it take you to do a proposal? About an hour. So, you know, that's an hour away. Imagine if you were selling for an hour, or if you were doing some promo content on Instagram or something like that for an hour, then you're getting new clients that way, right? And like I said, you're not having to have someone on payroll. You're able to simply, when it's that time, that they do the proposal for you. So let's say you do 5 proposals a week. That's $100 a week, $400 a month, basically, maybe 500 depending on if there's an extra week in there. Not that big of a deal, yeah. If things slow down, it ends up being like $100 a month. Maybe you only had 5 proposals that month. Who knows, you know? But you're not having this person totally on payroll and they're like, cool, this is extra cash. But you need the process for how you do the proposal, right? But imagine if you had 5. That's 5 hours of your time. Those 5 hours could be spent in a much more productive way, right? So then you have proposal. Then they pay. Then what happens after that? You have a discovery session after they pay. Cool. And what's the discovery session like?
It could range 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on how much of flow or how much you're in flow of it.
Yeah.
Or if I need a lot of information, we need to dig deep.
But it's you both talking together.
But
Do you?
It's questions.
No.
Just questions. So I have a list of questions that we try to fill out, and I like to make those also a conversation.
Okay.
I like to just read the next question, read the next question.
So one possibility is there's a software out there called VideoAsk, where you can have these questionnaires where it's you asking the questions, and then they can respond via video to you from any browser, right? So you can give them a certain amount of time, like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. But you have these questions where it's like, hey, okay, so tell me a little bit about your brand, what do you do, whatever, like, and they have to respond. You can make them respond via video, so that it's not just a like written thing. It's there. They can say, well, okay, so, well, my brand is this, and we've been around for whatever, and so it's almost like a conversation but you don't have to necessarily be there, and you can have somebody else extract that information, put it into a spreadsheet or something like that you can review, or you can watch the videos and things like that. But these are the things that, for each one of these steps that are in your agency, you have to consider, how can I take this step that's its own insulated step and make it to where I do not have to be a part of it. Because at some point in time, you're not going to be a part of it, because you might be sick with the flu for a week. And do you want, like, if you have this all set up the right way, you can have it to where somebody else steps in, right? Or on the flip side, if you don't do it, you can have it to where you just lose money when you're sick. Like for me, I wasn't feeling well the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And whether I'm feeling well or whether I'm feeling good, things keep going. And it doesn't matter what step in my business. It could be sales, it could be content. Content still goes out because somebody else is doing it, right? The only times that it's not is if like it's a brand new video or something like that. But they're splicing up my old videos and putting it up out there as YouTube shorts and Instagram posts and things like that, right? So how can you take these insulated sections of your business, figure out the process, and offload them.
You're going to a restaurant.
That's
You order what you.
that's the key with all of this. So, and then why it's so important, because each time you do that, you've just given yourself 5 hours, 10 hours, 40 hours or more per week.
Last time I was looking at I think it was
Probably spent about 6 hours per client.
I think it was the online.
See? Yeah. And so per client. So if you could take most of that and see and get rid of it. Maybe it's an hour per client. Maybe there might be things that you absolutely love doing that you want to keep, that you enjoy, that gives that that special thing that you know you can offload, but it's you. Like, you want your imprint on it, and that's totally cool. But rather than the 6 hours per client, now it's down to 30 minutes per client or an hour per client, and that means more clients. And you could even do it to where it means not necessarily more clients, but you have more time to make yourself more valuable via content, via whatever. So now you're becoming the hotter girl at school, and you can charge more. All right, so proposal, discovery call, and then after discovery call, they say, okay, good, yeah, let's do it. Then what's next?
Then I start. I send emails, follow-up emails, or progress emails. But then I start to delegate, start the process for script writers.
Cool. So you do have people who do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't develop. I have
The overall kind of
all the information that I need. It's a brand message, most importantly. And then I do have a framework for that. That my writers focus on.
Yeah.
And then landing page development. Copywriter develop a compelling copyright copy. Develop landing page developer to add it to. The editors are still a work in progress, but I mainly pick it up eventually, pick up the slack. But that's because I don't have it laid out for them to do it perfectly. Do it. And contact videographers, set up dates, get extras if we need them. Shoot. After that process, we're going to start the process for script writers.
Cool.
Get everybody in place on it.
See, that's cool, because you actually have, that's pretty dang good to have the script writers and the landing page and all that other stuff. So you see that, because even with the landing page type things, that's creative. You see that's possible. That's awesome. That is very cool. Nothing is different with any of this process. Like, the editing is generally the same. One of my favorite books, which I think you got, it's a book called Work the System. No? No?
I got the Dan Sulum.
Oh, Who Not How. That is a huge part of this, obviously, because yeah, you saw, like, you're using your script and you're getting editors and things like that. 100%. Because that is that mindset coupled with the systems mindset work the system. If you that's one of your next books to listen to or to read, because you'll start seeing that nothing is different. Systems are systems, processes are processes. It's literally just step by step what you're doing, and you'll see that like 99% of what you do is really what anybody else could do. Like almost, and I'm dead serious, dude. Anybody. Like it might look like it's creative, it might look like it's whatever, but it is menial work. There's that 1% that is creative, though, that you might not be able to outsource as a process, or you have to find somebody who has that creative mentality to do it. Like with my VADs, my main guy, who you know and you interact with, he sets up systems so that other VADs and VSAs can create these little clips, and they don't really have to do anything necessarily design-wise. They don't have to be creative. They already have the templates made. They already know how to create these have these templates done and everything like that. But he was the one that originally created the systems and the templates and things like that. So you don't, like, he has that creative gene, and he creates the initial stuff, but then that can be templated out. That can be, I mean, you see even with Adobe After Effects, there's templated special effects that you can do, right? You don't have to be super creative anymore, but somebody was creative in creating that. Now there's just a process for anybody to use, right? And it looks original, it looks creative, it looks like you can make it look like you are freaking amazing, but in reality you had an administrative assistant. Just, this is how we add fireballs to our hands when we do this on our videos. First you do this, then you go to this, and you click here, then you add this special effect template, you align it here, and then you do this, and boom, 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 done. Right? They didn't have to create the flames, they didn't have to create anything like that, they just had to utilize what was there. And that's just literally, grandma could do it if it's specified well enough. But nothing's different. It's all in how detailed you are in explaining what to do. My buddy Gonzalo, he would have systems for his kids on how to do their chores. His children, on how to do his chores, on how to how to brush their teeth, how to make their bed, like step by step. This is how it's going to look. This is what you're going to do. Like for everything that they did. So now, as they are adults, they're in college, they're doing their thing. They actually think systematically in their jobs. One of them works for like huge. What's that firm? Ernst & Young or something like that. Huge company, and he's like, dude, their system sucks, so he builds out systems for them, and he's like superstar there. Everything's systems, everything's process, and the sooner that you know that, the sooner you're able to, that's the only way you're able to have time freedom. I want to instill in people that it's never about how much time you spend on something. Often you're gonna have to go through even right now, when I let go of one of my main guys because of reasons that always happen, different things. Now I'm in some of his processes, and I'm looking and saying, why is this not a system? Why is this not a process? And I'm going through the pain of something that he had been doing for a year or more that should have been turned into a system and process, but I would not have known unless I went through that pain. But the whole point of all this is that it's not about being more productive, finding the next productivity hack or anything like that. It's really building these step-by-step things that you can hand off to someone else. That's why that Who Not How book is so important, because as I've mentioned in past as I've mentioned in past videos, that in school, if you were good at math and I sucked, and I paid you to take my test from me, I would be expelled. That's a big no-no. But in the real world, if you're good at math and I'm not, and it's going to make me money if I pass this test or whatever it is, I pay you, I make money. That's how it works. If you get rewarded. But we're taught, do not pay anybody else. Do not offload anything. Do it yourself. You need to do everything. You need to be a mathematician. You need to be a geometrist, PE teacher. Yeah, you need to be all these things. And so that's one of the reasons why it's not really anyone's fault for having such a hard time, not just letting other people do their work, but knowing how to properly do that. Can you imagine if there was a course for a year on how to create process for delegation and how to lead with that? You have so many more entrepreneurs, so many more investors, so many more successful people. But no, it's raise your hand to go to the bathroom. That's what they want. Because the big boys, Standard Oil and the big companies and stuff like that, they want workers. So it's not in their best interest.